Yep. Okay. And we are live. Okay. Great. Peace, peace, family. Thank you for joining us. I know you guys are going to come in. Feel free to say hi in the chat. We'll be reading your messages. And we are here for our last interview of the year, I believe. We have another person, but I'm not sure when they'll be interviewing. And we're here with Sister Alicia, and we're going to ask her a few questions and let you guys get to know her. But before I do that, I want to remind you guys that Isha Womb Council is a collective of women that are coming together to perform and express and practice sisterhood in real time. And so we'll be talking about a lot of taboo topics when it comes to sisterhood, womanhood, wifehood, motherhood, and we'll be sharing a lot of guidance and wisdom with you guys as we have our journey ourselves. And so, without further ado, thank you so much, Sister Alicia, for joining us tonight.
Indeed, I'm so excited. It's such an honor.
So I think our first question will be, because I couldn't give you a personal interview because I'm also still getting to know you, but I do know that you're a two of diamonds, which is my daughter's card, which lets me know that you're probably amazing at business partnerships. You are able to do well with marketing and connecting with other people, and you're able to provide resources based on connection hubs. Is that a little bit accurate?
That is 100% on the nose. As a matter of fact, like maybe an hour ago, I just helped one of the young ladies that came into business with me name her business.
Oh,
And
nice.
it was a really, really big deal. So that is exactly what I do. I've been blessed to be. My first entrepreneurial adventure started when I was 15, and I opened my first storefront when I was 23. So I have been blessed with business, and that's all I've done my whole life.
Yeah, so can you tell me a little bit more about the storefront situation? Like, what was that about? What was the purpose, the service?
Absolutely. So while I was in college, I started doing nails. And I didn't know I was like really good at it. And I didn't know I was an artist. So I'm in there throwing down. That was before the little airbrush machines came. So I'm
Uh-huh.
doing everything by hands. And I'm just like, oh, this is an adventure. And then they paid me. I was like, oh, let me learn to do more stuff, right? And so I got really good. And I was at the salon like 7 a.m. to sometimes 9, 10 o'clock at night, 6, 7 days a week. I was like, I could keep paying her part of what I'm making, or I could open my own. So I decided to open my own, and it was called Alicia's 24-hour nail and feet retreat.
Okay.
It was so cute, downtown Greensboro. And yeah. So first of all, it was just Alicia's nail and feet retreat. And because we had people still trying to get in after hours,
Mhm.
I ended up hiring 12 girls. And so we did 24-hour shifts, and it was awesome. 9 to 9 was walk-ins, and then 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. was appointments. Yeah.
That is
Awesome.
so beautiful. And you know, as I was listening to you say like your discovery into art, that
Yeah.
reminds me so much of my daughter because I'm watching her now where she's like painting and or she's like doing
Mm.
she's sewing or she knows how to crochet as well. So she'll
Okay.
be doing the projects and like she just zones out into her own world.
Absolutely.
That
Gone.
have bracelets that we sell that she makes. So
That's awesome.
that's so cool, the synchronicities.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me a little bit about a lot about where you are now as far as like how you provide service? Um, we know you're a part of Arna, but let them know about that.
Okay, absolutely, absolutely. So, currently, I am a naturopathic physician. I have done that for years, and then I'm a spiritual psychiatrist. So we get to the root of things, and I love the fact that the opportunity is now here for me to do that tribally, so that I can actually learn our process. So that is what I'm in the process of doing: is bringing all that under the wonderful umbrella of Arna. My life has changed since I became a tribal member. Very, very proud, very excited, because I understand better who I am. And I'm able to look at history differently so that I can look at myself with a better level of pride.
Mhm, mhm. That's so powerful because I feel like right now there is a confusion about where we come from. There is a great confusion about our cultural practices and our history, and it's deeply impacted how we operate in family units as Black Americans.
Absolutely.
And so that's so important. And I'm so grateful to have you here because you come with your own wisdom and experience in your field, and then you get to blend it in with the protocol and the culture of art. So that's a beautiful mix. Okay, so what is something that maybe many people don't know about you that you would like them to know?
Me, let's see. Well, I am a big time sports girl, and most people don't look at me and say that. Yeah.
Yeah, you got me.
I'm that chick. I love it. I do. I love sports, and it doesn't matter a specific team. Like I love it. I played soccer growing up, so like that is, I love it. I love working out. I love that whole 9 yards. One of my greatest regrets is that I never became a Marine. I really, really wanted to be a Marine. I did. And my mother was like, that is not feminine. Oh my gosh, don't do that. I don't care anything about their scholarships. We'll pay for your college. Clutch the pearls. And I was like, yeah, but I want to be a Marine. So yeah. Most people have no idea, but yeah, I'm that chick. That's
it. Both of those caught me off guard.
Yeah.
What is your favorite? Like, do you have a favorite sport or like?
I love basketball. I mean, I just do. I really, really do, and have since forever. And my niece, she plays at Temple, and she is like everything, and she looks just like me, so she's gorgeous. Yeah. And so so basketball just kind of runs in the family. Football does as well. My grandfather actually coached for Army, for Navy for years, and then I have just family members all throughout that played. But I love sports. I love to see us in our excellence in any aspect.
Yes. And then us in movement. It sounds like you like you're very active, because I had the Marines and then you like sports. So
I do. And I truly, my NRA certification is the next thing that I'm working on so I can be an instructor. I played with it for long enough, and it's just time that I get it so that I can help to train our sisters. Absolutely.
That'd be fun. Okay, I want to sign up for that. That'd be cool. Okay, so do you have any events, any things happening in your business currently that you'd like to tell us about? I know that there was a flyer that I saw on Facebook. I think it was talking about generational wealth building. Yes. And so I was wondering.
I didn't even mention that. Duh. Okay. So that's the highlight of my life. I am a generational wealth specialist, licensed by the state. I do all 50 states. And I love the fact that I am able to help people. Once your child gets 14 days old, we can start setting them up for retirement. And people don't even realize that that's an option. I know my parents didn't know. You know, my father retired with $1 million at 60. And, woo, you got $1 million. You good. Nobody expected him to live to 85. So they didn't prepare him. So by the time he was 76, my dad had to go back to work. And that's the piece that people don't talk about. So when you see little ladies at Walmart, or you see men at Chick-fil-A, many of them, it's not that they didn't prepare, it's that they lived longer than they expected. So what I do is I help people not to wait till the last minute, start as young as possible so that you're able to set yourself up not to have to be a burden on your family.
And where can people go to find more information on this?
I am rebuilding my website, so I can they can definitely reach out by text. And I'm glad to share that if it's okay.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay, all right.
I can put it in the comments too, so people can have it to.
Absolutely. They can text 770-861-9906, 770-861-9906. And so one of the things we do, we specialize in life insurance that you don't have to die to use. because a lot of people just avoid it because it's like, forget them kids, you know.
Right.
And I'm like, wait, let's not forget the kids,
Right.
right? You know, you brought them here, you signed the contract. And so, you know, we create a situation where, because most people don't think about, they think, you know, well, if I die too soon or I live too long, but they don't think about that other piece. What if I get sick?
Right.
Because rent is still due. You had a heart attack over on the 3rd, they still want rent on the 1st. I might be different than New York, but down here in Tennessee, hello, so sorry about your heart attack. Right.
It's the same everywhere.
Right, okay. And so, you know, well, I'm on a defibrillator and I can't get to work. It's the 1st, late by the 5th, right? So we create situations for people that if you do have a heart attack, have a stroke, get cancer, any of those type things that, you know, you normally wouldn't but you don't know, right? Because of your lifestyle before you wake up. Right. That you're able to get up to 90% of your policy while you're alive to keep your family afloat and all of those type things. And these aren't things that we were even told were a possibility because your job insurance isn't going to offer that. So we make sure that that's an availability. And, you know, we create situations for families where you can get insurance on your children that you only have to pay for 20 years. It's permanent insurance, and they have that for the rest of their lives, and they can borrow against it if it's necessary. Mm-hmm. So we just really create a situation where we bring the very best product to people, and we bring the best protection to our community, because the Washington Post said that if we continue in the trend that we are, by 2053, our net worth will be 0. And so what I've determined is not on my watch. Right. So as long as I'm available, I do generational wealth seminars in order to help our people. I do it one-on-one. I do them for large groups, for religious organizations, things to that effect, just so we don't get caught out there, because that's what keeps happening. And then families keep having a death and they're back on GoFundMe. GoFundMe is not a life insurance policy.
Right.
So
I love that, because I feel like it's so important in the Black family units to get back to wealth building and to actually know how to do that in a structural and functional way. Not like hiding money under the mattresses, but having something that you can actually pass down that is of worth.
You need to be able to compound interest, and nothing is compounding under your mattress except for lint bugs. And so what we want to do is to put families in positions where if an emergency happens, you're not just out there, you're not getting payday loans, you're not having to go to Magic City. Like, none of those things are having to happen.
You are funny.
I lived in Atlanta for 16 years. Yes, I did. Mm-hmm.
She said Magic City.
And I did go to Magic City, but I did vegan food. And I told people, I was like, I wasn't dancing in public. Clutch the pearls. Right.
Is that what they went to, like, immediately? Oh, wow.
I'm like, no, I made the food. Ew. Yeah.
Understood. Okay. So if you are looking to develop that and to educate your families on wealth building, then tap in with my sis, because that's a very important structural foundation for building a family and planning a family intentionally. Right?
Yeah, indeed. And you don't want to see, that's the thing. And I talk to a lot of brothers. Father's Day is coming up, and a lot of brothers happen to become fathers, right? And I'm like, okay, you happen to become, talk to me about just, oof.
How it just happened.
she took you, and then suddenly none of that happened. You know, so be on purpose. And I really, really talk to families that are not in a contract, right? So we just live together. Okay, you live together, but do y'all have insurance on each other? Because if y'all are creating children and you sharing bills, if you're not here, what's supposed to happen to that other person?
Right.
And you know, and on baby children, if you have baby fathers, if you have multiple baby fathers, you need to have multiple life insurance policies, because if he is paying child support, that's income that's not going to be there if he's gone. The state is going to give you a $255 check.
Right.
That's it. And that's if you're married. If you ain't married, you just short like a midget. That little survivor's benefit they get at kids. Listen, you got them on ramen noodles. It's
right.
like, oh, clutch the pearls. Ramen. Mommy, when did we become ramen noodle eaters? So yeah, there's that.
Okay.
I'm supposed to behave.
It's funny. I didn't get that. Okay. Yes to all of that. I don't even have it. Yes to all of that. Are you having a seminar anytime soon, or is it something that they would schedule with you?
Oh, it's every day. Yeah, I do them literally every day. I have one at 6 a.m. So yeah. So I'm on Central Time, but I do people in Alaska, Hawaii, and work a lot with military families too, because they don't realize what their insurance looks like, right? And so everything's cool when you're in the military until you get diagnosed with PTSD or something to that effect, then you're uninsurable. People don't realize that. When you take your children to, to have mental health challenges or whatever, if you take them and they have those diagnoses, a lot of times they can't get covered. So this is one of the reasons a lot of, I'm too young, I'm fine, I'm healthy. You're fine, you're healthy now. That's the time you need to get covered, because a lot of us are just one diagnosis away from being uninsurable. And that's the thing. A lot of people don't think about life insurance until they get sick. Well, at that point, ain't nobody trying to take a risk on you. Right. So you want to do it as young as possible so you can get the least expensive rate. Right. You know, I've been doing this for 4 years, and I have seen families come to me. Oh, I know my daddy was talking to you about insurance. Yeah, baby, but he said he'd get to it later, and later never came. And because our brothers are under the amount of stress that they are, a lot of our brothers are not. And then we have a lot of people that took the shot because they were afraid. Right. And so that's still lingering. And we're seeing a lot of people that are having side effects. So this is the time. This is the time to do it while you're well, while you're in your right mind, because we don't know what'll happen. And we need to make sure that our children are covered as well, especially if they're in public schools, because you just don't know. And what we do is we avoid these conversations, and then we beg the public to help us. That's not necessary. And that's not the public's responsibility. You know, take care. The theme for this summer is get your house in order. Get your house in order. And so, you know, that's really, we're even doing some presentations. I'll be working with the Baltimore Police Department. They've asked me to come up and to really, really talk to many of the officers that are up there and the administrative people, because it's just not real. You know, we even have insurance that helps the fire departments, because a lot of the things that the fire departments are covered with, extreme burns, and that time that you're out, you're not always covered, especially when you have volunteer police departments. People don't consider those things. So it's just time. It's time for us to not avoid the conversation, but to find somebody that is a licensed professional to sit down and show you a plan for your family. And that's what we do.
And even better that we have the sister here, because she is able to support Black families in getting aboard of this type of structure.
We don't have to be broke. We don't have to be broke. We don't have to ask Big Mama, and we don't have to rent, because when you rent, you're sitting up building somebody else's dream. I want to put our families in a position where we have ownership.
That's definitely in alignment with Arna. So
absolutely. Yes. I am in the right place with Arna. I love it. I love it. I love it. And the Ninja Crispy. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I saw your post about that.
Listen. Oh, it is the best thing since sliced bread. I will not use my oven for nothing unless I decide to make a big butterball something, which is not going to happen. But yes, when you could put Luna in front of it to push the button. Mom, look at there. Look what I've discovered. That's how you restaurant style. I'm like, oh, look at there. When I tell you, oh yeah, it's everything. And I mean, I'm already eating super healthy now, but to be able to just put it in there and say, and then it does, oh yeah, it's
I
everything.
even love that it's glass because I know that there's some air fryers that aren't, and then there's like plastics
and a lot of them will really hurt you, but this is glass.
Yeah.
So, but the quality of the food, oh, my fish, my salmon, it just, oh, I was like, wow. And then I put my bison in there.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, what? Okay. What was the meal? What, like, give me the breakdown.
So I am addicted to bison street tacos. It is the answer to all problems. A nap and a bison street taco will keep you from harming humanity. Okay.
Okay.
So I had my ground bison, and so I had my little onion, had my little what did I do? I did onion, pepper, and a couple other things. Mixed it all together, laid it out, pressed the button. Oh, honey.
Okay, so is it in like a pot or like is it like
a glass? It's a square glass one. They have a big one, and then there's a small one. So you literally, and sis, I can't explain. Now you know I'm a chef, right?
Yes,
like a real one, an international chef. I've studied abroad. Blah blah blah. Listen, Linda, no, it is amazing. I was like, stop. So yeah, and so like we'll do whitefish, but of course we never do tilapia or catfish. Ooh, but put that in there, and it sings. It really made like so. Since I have a lot of sisters, I don't know how to cook, so I have to eat out. I'm like, no, because I make them accountable for the money they spending.
Yeah,
I'm like, sis, you spending $3,000 a month eating out. Right. What you doing? And how many is you by yourself in your house? Right. And so that's where I take them first is to the crispy. Because you're not going to tell me you can't press a button. You don't press a button. Yeah. And so that right there, I had one sister, she just reported she saved $1,600 last month using the crispy. Because I won't let you. I'm checking everything. I get the little ding ding every time you use your debit card. And I'm like, sis, no, but I had to go to Crispy. You did not have to go to Chick-fil-A. You lying. You did not have to. Oh, but it was too late. Stop. So yeah.
I like that accountability. I feel like that's what sisterhood is. That's exactly
we blow so much money, but it's because we're not accountable.
Right.
That's it. And it's worse when you're an entrepreneur because, nobody bothers me. Well, that's the problem. Nobody's bothering you. Nobody's checking you. And you just blowing money because you can.
Yeah. I also think that it's so important because back in the days, women were teaching their daughters and their niece how to cook and things of that nature. So
in a kitchen. Yeah. In a kitchen, having a real meal. And so brothers back in the day, because I'm old enough to remember back in the day, right? Brothers back in the day asked you, so can you cook? Because they were looking for wives. When they was just looking for somebody to lay up with, food wasn't even a part of the conversation. Right. It was like, no, Netflix and chill. That was it. But no food was involved. But brothers that were serious, that was, can you cook? Can you sew? You know what I'm saying? Just those basic things. And so you didn't have to be just pretty. You had to also come with skills.
Right.
Can you clean? Do you know what cleaning products look like? Yes. They need to contact you. You got cleaning products. My God. Run around using Fabuloso. Fabuloso is not a cleaning product. It just smells good for a little bit.
Just for a little, and don't mix it with the wrong thing. Yes. It does smell good.
It just smells good, and then you run around dirty, smelling good. Yeah. There's no sanity, no clarity. What's unclean? It's unkempt. It should be against the law.
Okay, so I'm grateful that we have someone else on the panel that is as strong-minded and strong opinionated as I am, because I also just feel like a part of us rehabilitating ourselves as women and in the sisterhood is us being accountable for those very basic skill sets. these are things that you have to do to be able to live and to thrive. And so, yeah, it's
And how are you taking care of yourself too? Because your house speaks to how you take care of yourself.
and
So your house looking crazy and you don't own a mop. Anytime a sister tell me she don't own a mop, sis, come here, let's have a little chat because I'm old enough to be your auntie. When you say you don't have a mop, you just got a Swiffer, a Swiffer, baby, a Swiffer. That's a little daily thing, but a Swiffer ain't a show enough mop.
No, it's not gonna get up in there.
Yeah, let's get a little real mop. There you go. There you go. You mean you just take dishes and put them in the dishwasher? You don't wrench them off like the old people. You don't wrench them off, baby. Wrench them off. Don't be putting food. But see, a lot of people's mama never taught them. So I've taught over 4,000 women in the conscious community. So I lived with Queen Afua for a year, and then I taught Sacred Woman. Then I opened my own. I did, yeah.
I'll read the comments. Sister Aaliyah was like, a Swiffer.
A Swiffer. Oh God, yeah. We need a real mop and a real broom. Like you can't just move dust around. Dusting. I didn't know people don't dust. I'm like, baby, what you mean you don't dust? Who raised you? What happened to you?
They didn't have that guidance, and I'm not sure when that ended because I'll be honest, like my great grandmother and my great aunt taught me everything I knew. Like they had me in the kitchen during Thanksgiving. That's how I learned how to cook. My aunt would not allow me to not clean up. Everything has to be clean. You're sweeping sweeping the carpet. Like you're sweeping the room. You're not vacuuming. You can't have dishwashers.
Yes.
So you're cleaning the dishes, then you're drying the dishes.
Yes. And then you put them up. You don't just leave them there in the little dryer thing till it gets dry rotted. Put them dishes up. Fold the clothes. Wash, fold, and put them away. That's a whole ministry right there.
That is. And the importance of the house being clean because that affects the energy of the house. That affects the cultivation of energy in the house.
You nasty if you don't clean your house. You nasty.
Right.
How you got your nails done, hair done, everything done, and your house is nasty? You didn't pay your cleaning lady? What's the problem?
Priorities. But I'm so grateful for these spaces because we get to go into and like all the women that are in this space assist in cultivating that guidance in some way. Yes. And so that's a beautiful thing too, because I'm looking forward to seeing more spaces where women get to come together and actually get the direction and guidance that maybe they didn't get from their mom.
Absolutely. And see, that's a trauma response too, sis. Not cleaning the house. I actually put a post up about not folding clothes and just being there. So you're picking from the clothes they clean. So you picking from the clothes every day instead of that's the trauma response. Mm-hmm. And so because that's what I do, I really help women to understand why you're doing what you're doing.
Right.
You know, and especially as women enter into perimenopause, which should start as early as 35. Mm-hmm. Your hormones are changing. So you'll sometimes watch what you tolerate out of yourself change because your body's changing too. Right. And so it's a whole lot. But as long as you understand the psychology of what's happening to you, then you can stay on top of it. Mm-hmm. So, you know, there's a lot of self-grace in there, but with no accountability, the grace is not sufficient. It is,
and it's really more coddling if there is no accountability, to be honest.
Absolutely. Yes.
Wait, I feel like grace was one of the things that I got to practice more of. Mm-hmm. I feel like because of my childhood, I was very micro introspective and analytical about myself. Yes. And always critiquing myself. Like, okay, this is how I say I want to be. So how do we get here? And I'll always just, I think it's the spade energy too, but I'm a person that I need action-oriented solutions. Okay, yes. I'm not one for like, I'm not going to say an affirmation and be like, oh, it's healed. That's not how I operate. I need concrete awareness first and foremost, and then action-oriented steps that shift the habit or the path that I'm currently in. And so I think it's so important to have both grace and accountability.
That's
Sometimes
right.
we have to move into one versus the other, and being on either extreme is not healthy.
It's not. And I'm a six polarity. Okay. And so I am a 9-9. All right. So all of that, nobody's crazier than me. I got them all beat. Right. And I'm aware of that. So see, the problem is when you don't know. No. The rumors are true. I know me. I've been with me a long time. Right. And so in that six polarity, the quote unquote Virgo, that's the perfectionist. Nobody can, and people need to know this when you have a six polarity child, nobody will pick apart a six polarity worse than a six polarity. We are the hardest on ourselves. And so you have to be in tune with that child, and you have to be able to tell them, hey, come on, let's exercise some grace toward you. And so this is one of the reasons you have so many six polarity serial killers and suicides, because when everything is about getting it perfect, getting it right, that's overwhelming.
Right.
And so this is why it's important to have safe spaces so that you can bounce and talk to other people and it be okay. Because if you don't have a supportive parental system, if they encourage that perfectionism even more, that's even more damage because you're never good enough. Yeah.
I want to add in on there that's why in Tribal Birth Course we speak about preconception planning, because it's so important to understand what type of energy you want to bring forward, and to understand how you want to wield or guide that soul.
Yes.
And that's a big responsibility. And even as a person that hasn't gotten a chance to experience it through Arna yet, I know the difference between choosing to have a child, like you're sitting down with that person and y'all both say yes to having a child versus not. And there's so many different challenges and different, I'm going to just say it, dysfunctions that come with that for the child, right? And then we as parents can sometimes get very frustrated about what we're experiencing, but we're not being accountable at the fact that you created a child unintentionally, literally.
Well, see, that's now you done opened the can of worms. Am I allowed to talk? Because I just look pretty. Because you didn't open the can. Woo! Okay, so what I have observed, because I do post-abortion healing clinics, and so if you had it 5 minutes ago or 50 years ago, there's some energy that has to be accounted for. You can't just roll on like, oh, well, it's my body, my choice. That's a lie. Okay. So one of the things that I notice is some of the ladies don't have the money to have an abortion. So they actually abort that child's spirit once they get here in the way they treat them. And so it's so important that we come together as a community, that we have the conversations to help ladies, because when you get pregnant, okay, like it just happened. I don't know. It's a surprise. I've never seen it happen to anybody else before. I don't know, right? Then you are continuing a cycle of catch up, because you never intended to be a mother anyway. And he never intended to be a father anyway. Yeah. So then you're a deadbeat, but that's not what I signed on for. And then, I'm stuck with this child that I never wanted. And that child picks that up the entire time they're in the womb. So they come out with fear complexes, rejection complexes, abandonment complexes. Is she going to keep me? Is she going to kill me? What's going to happen to me while I'm in there? So a lot of insecurity is really, really deeply embedded, just because the right precautions were not taken and there was no intentionality. And so this is my admonition to our sisters: stop being easy. Because men don't respect easy women. They will use you, but they won't respect you. And men don't marry women they don't respect. Right. So you're setting yourself up to be a perpetual baby mama. Right. And that's it, without a support system. So this is one of the things I love about Arna is that it creates opportunities for us to learn and for us to be able to have guidelines to raise children in. It's just I have been a part of everything that exists, and by far Arna is, yeah, I'm team Arna. If I could get an Arna tattoo, I would. I promise. I'm pleased. Yeah.
Arna Sigil.
Right.
I want to speak on what you just said because that was powerful, okay? Because I think there's a whole couple of generations walking around healing from the conviction of being an aborted spirit, like knowing that their parents did not want them, right?
And the parents say it to them, like, you know, I ain't never want you. Who, what? And you can never unhear that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. It's no problem whatsoever. So with that awareness, it's important to understand that energy is intentional. What we think, what we speak, what we do, everything has an energetic repercussion, result, effect. And so when we step into the realm of motherhood, fatherhood, of creating, of playing God or expressing as God, whichever one, there's different polarities of this same energy, right?
Come on.
We understand what it is to create and the full consequence of that, right? We often ask these questions, like for those of us that maybe see God as an extension outside of us. We're like, why is this happening to me? But you were given the same power, the same authority, the same choice, the same process to be accountable. And so I think, and this is me speaking as a mother, I am a mother that gets to go through both the challenges and the joys of parenthood and of my decisions. You get what I'm saying? And so that's why it's so important to sit down with yourself. And this is not a space in which you separate from the fact that you still have purpose, because you do.
Absolutely.
However, you take accountability and you allow yourself space to heal, forgive, and to reshape your way of thinking, your patterns. And so when we're often as women making a comment about maybe a dysfunction that we express as women, this is not the fact that you stay in hell. You don't have to stay.
Absolutely.
You can choose to elevate your mindset. You can choose to find sisterhood, support, to learn how to heal so that you can be exactly what you need to be for self and for your children.
That's right. And we create our own heaven and hell. Heaven and hell is within us. And so, you know, and the devil, we are the devil and we're God. So when you really make that decision, you fully empower yourself. As long as you're looking for somebody outside of you to save you, you will continue to stay lost. So, you know, the journey to self and the full self-discovery, one of my Babalaos actually taught me this, and he said, self first, but not self only. And when you can get that in alignment with you, you know, I have been a chronic overgiver in the past. And once I got delivered from myself and I did Alicia first, it shifted the game. It got a lot of people out of my life because they enjoyed being served, but did not want to be servants. And so once I really got that in me, everything changed. My money changed. Everything became better because I learned how to love me. Most of our parents provided. That's where their mind was. But sitting down and saying, little girl, I love you, and this is how you should love you. That's not a conversation many of our parents had.
Right. And then I want to say that because Sister Aaliyah, she put in the comments, but that self first, but not self only is it should be an ode to all women. Like everyone, but especially women, because we place ourselves in sacrificial positions. We place ourselves in positions to be performative. And oftentimes this comes from not knowing how to design your own purpose, not knowing how to refocus and have a space in which you are a wife, but you are also a woman. You are also a person, right? And this does not mean that you step outside of your roles or don't serve in those spaces. This means there's balance. Like you cannot serve in those spaces unless you first serve yourself. And learning that is such an elevation, because
Yes,
oftentimes
yes,
as women we are literally trained to seek validation,
yes,
to cherish attention, right?
yes.
And then we never learn what it is to be of intention. We never learn what it is to be in power of what we are, which is creators.
And usefulness. A lot of times, unless I gotta show myself useful, because if I'm useful, you're not gonna ask me a bunch of questions. You're not gonna hold me accountable because I bring so much value and I do everything everybody else doesn't want to do. So you'll leave me alone, and that's the worst thing.
Yeah.
When you're showing yourself in excellence, you need to be held accountable, because that's the way cults are cultivated.
Yeah.
When you have people that have so much charisma and so much, but no accountability, that's exactly how cult leaders get here. I'm old enough to remember Jim Jones. You know, people joke about, and I'm not talking about the rapper. Um,
I was like, okay, I'm not okay. So
I saw your face. I was like, no, I've gone out there. Okay, so, oh God, no. There was a pale skinned European named Jim Jones, and he had a cult, and he took people to some part of Africa. I think it was Johannesburg, somewhere, and he took people that looked like us over there, and they ended up drinking Kool-Aid, and everybody killed themselves.
Wow.
Yeah, that happened in real life, and so but he was charismatic. He started out as a preacher, was preaching on the money, and then he started just veering off just a little bit. And that veering off, because he had spoken so many words that were accurate, people took everything that he was saying because they were looking for a God outside of them. And so because it's really deep, when I really started doing, I was working on my master's in divinity, and I started to really, really understand tithing. Now I get all of the, because I studied Hebrew for years. I was a Jew, blah, blah, blah. And I did that. I was a Hebrew Israelite, all that river crazy stuff. I understood what tithing was for, but I didn't understand what the whole tithing thing now has become. And so it's God bribery. So, hey, God, look here, right? I'm going to break you off this paper, right? You protect my money. Don't ask me no questions, G. All right? Just let me go on here and do my thing. It's bribery. And so we avoid a relationship with God within, and we're going to break God because you're going to bring my money, right? I'm going to dip you 10%, and you go on here and give me a return on my investment.
Sounds like a whole prostitution. What? That sounds very energetically and like pimp-ish.
That's exactly what it is. And so, because we want to do pick and choose what we're going to do, right? But you can't do that. When you start, like, if you read the Bible from the point of view that I am God as well as I am the audience, the amount of self-accountability that you start doing, take the Quran and do the same thing. Every one of your holy books, take that within. It's like, oh, that was for me. And so it really makes you accountable. And so you were absolutely right with something you said earlier. A lot of times sisters don't want to be accountable, but want to complain about the counterpart that they have attracted. Okay, you attracted him. You let him into your body and your life. So he can't be but soul garbage because you attracted him. So where were you in your energy that you attracted Bob?
Even better question, now that you guys have made a lifetime contract through creation, how are you going to elevate to grow so that you guys can be what you need to be for your creation? Because at this point, it's not about you and your feelings anymore.
It's not. And you chose Bob, and now you're angry about Bob. Okay, so if we're not going to be with Bob, then we're going to end up being with somebody else and dragging Bob's children into a whole nother situation. Whereas, what are we doing? So that's where it becomes an issue is I don't want to take accountability for what I did. I don't want to take accountability for who I am. Just accept me as I am. Let me love who I want to love. Let me do what I want to do. Okay, that didn't work in the 70s, and it ain't working now. What are we doing?
That was the hippie era, right?
Come on.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
I've heard that it is, yes.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, I agree. And then that's where sisterhood comes in. That's what, because it's not even about, at this point, it's not about why don't you know? Because we already know something happened where the generation of women are not at the same level of divinity as we used to be. And that's not
1973 happened, since you brought up the hippie era. 1973 happened with feminism, and then all of a sudden I want to be I can do anything he can do, I can do better. Well, where the problem comes in, we started calling ourselves women, and by definition a woman is a man with a womb. And so you bring that energy in. You bring in the energy of being nothing more than just a man with a womb. You stopped being a lady. We stopped wearing dresses. We stopped being soft. And then all of a sudden, we became boss babes. But that boss babe was a dude. You might as well have had a little, it wasn't a good situation. I was like, children there. But so it's just like, I have no interest in being in a competition with a man. I want to be your excellent compliment.
Exactly.
Come on, I'll do your marketing, baby. Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. Let's make this
magnify what you have. I'm like, and that's what we have on purpose.
I'm your quartz crystal.
Yeah, it's a piece.
Come on now. Let's do it together. And then we can start doing magic and all that. That's where magic comes in, because I'm fully vested in what you're doing. You're coming up. You ain't got to go talk to your secretary. I'll be your secretary, sugar. Talk to me. Talk to me. I talk back, right? And that's when it becomes amazing, because when I'm bouncing ideas off of you, we getting excited, and then it's wonderful. You're not in here by yourself. That's where collective economics comes in. And that's when we're taking those Kwanzaa principles and using them. It ain't got nothing to do with Africa. These are principles.
Right.
These are principles, and they are principles that have good, solid economics. And we're not doing no crabs in a barrel. That's why we don't eat crabs.
True.
Follow food science, they would get it. Oh my gosh.
I love it here. Okay. This is a perfect segue into our final question.
Yes.
What does sisterhood mean to you?
So when I was 19, and that was not in the 70s.
I
know, I'm messing with you. But when I was 19, my first mentor was Dr. Miles Monroe. And he said, Alicia, if the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable.
Ooh, okay, say it again. I want to make sure they caught it. That was,
If the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. And so after teaching 4,000 women, okay, and after living with Queen Afua for a year, okay, I've learned that sisterhood is actually wanting for my sister what I want for myself, because I've learned what I want for myself. I demand excellence out of myself. So it's not about me wanting to share my man, even though I'm polygamy. Why not? Right? But it's not about wanting to share my man. It's wanting to share my vision. It's me wanting to make sure that my sister eats, and that she doesn't have to settle for somebody that's not dedicated to her highest and best good, because she doesn't have everything together. So if I've got a vision that can help her, hey sis, come over here. It's good over here. I know what I want for myself. I have a standard of excellence for myself. So I want that for her. I want her to have the best of everything because self first wants the best of everything.
Yes.
I mind sharing.
I love
mind sharing. Absolutely.
Woo. Can you run that quote? Can you just say it one more time?
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am. If the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable.
And like the first time you said it, I was thinking about the state of our Black women, our Black families today, right? But specifically, I'm gonna say Black women because I do feel like we get to climb out of the space of feminism and climb into the space of knowing how to actually build a purpose and have a vision. Yes. That was so powerful. That was so powerful.
And see, there's a bridge there, sis, and that's where it gets so deep because many of us are having to come back into the family dynamic because what we were taught was to get more degrees than a thermometer. Make sure you never have to depend on a man for nothing. Always have all these extra accounts in case he trips so you can pick up and go. And that sounds good, but you are also, I'm not saying don't do it, but you also are setting yourself up to cause a division because you're saying, I got you, but I don't really need you. So I'm not going to be able to really submit to you if I'm always checking your phone, checking behind you. I don't trust you. I'm not going to be in a relationship with somebody I can't trust. What are we doing? I'm not doing all of that. And if I'm giving my body to you, I've got to be able to trust you spiritually and energetically.
Yes.
And this is why it's important to get a compatibility reading by somebody who has actually been through cosmology training, not just calling the California psychics or somebody crazy who don't know what they're doing. And then, but I talked to Mary Booth Sammy, and Mary Booth Sammy said that, oh my God, he's the one. She was charging you $3.99 a minute. She was going to tell you what you wanted to hear,
whatever.
$35, right? And so you don't have any idea. You don't understand his propensities because you don't understand his cosmology. You don't even know who you are. You don't know crap from apple butter about how to be in a relationship. So we need to learn to be in a relationship with ourselves first. If I don't know how to love me properly, how dare I ask somebody outside of me to love me?
Yes.
Who does that? And
Everyone.
Okay. He can't love you because he don't know. And we teach people how to treat us by the way that they see us treat ourselves. Yes. Well, if I'm neglectful toward me, then I'm going to make it be okay for you to be neglectful toward me too. And this is where we get into domestic violence.
Yes.
Because domestic violence begins within.
How are you treating yourself?
Come on.
Yeah. That's so true. I'm in awe because this conversation was so fire, and I'm super excited that the next thing we get to do is an actual live between all of us.
Yay!
I'm super excited for that. I am very, very, very grateful to have you on this space in this Bloom Council. I feel like the sisterhood is going to have a lot of fun learning from you. You are funny as shit.
I'm quiet and shy. Oh my gosh.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Now I feel like you've been lying to shit. I'm like, okay, I'll make it comfortable for her because you like she's shy. You ain't shy.
I just keep it real and have a lot of fun with it. I really do. I do. I enjoy my life because for so many years I was uptight. I was in religious situations where, I didn't look at TV, I didn't listen to music, da 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 da, and it's like, oh my God, can I live? So I'm living now. Yeah. Oh, I'm doing the thing now. Absolutely.
Oh, you know what? I remember you saying that with the first time that we met on the phone. You were telling me that. I am like the complete opposite. Now, I don't know if this is the king of spades, but it actually, like, I have spent the majority of my life, if not all of it, studying myself and then studying people.
I got you.
If I do not respect the person's mindset, then I won't even listen. Like, and then if I need to take little bits and pieces, I will, but you won't be like a trusted source that I go to. So like any space that I've ever got into where it's like, oh, you listen to music. Oh no, I can't be here. And then be like, oh, you can't. And someone said, oh, you can't dance. Oh no, that's not gonna work for me.
Right.
Work for me.
And your generation got blessed because it was like the curse got broken. Many of us were manipulated into different spiritual spaces by our grandmothers. So we got dragged to church with our grandmother. You had to go and put on the little Easter suit and all of that, and everybody looked like they just fell out of but we had to go do that. Like children now, like, what? A pair of pink shoes? What are we talking about? I'm not doing that. That's ridiculous. And enough discovery has been done that many of the things that our grandparents and great-grandparents held dear, we now see it's kind of like, that's not true. Like we used to eat soy and really thought we were doing something, until the brothers lost the depth of their voices and, other stuff stopped working.
Yeah.
So it's like, nope, doesn't work, nothing. And so we want to be able to get free from a lot of that, but still have structure and discipline. Because a lot of us went all the way. I don't believe nothing. I don't do nothing. I don't need God. I don't need nothing. Okay, that sounds good. But as soon as you get a diagnosis, you run into somebody. Oh, preacher, can you pray? Can you pray for me? Get the devil off my back. The devil is on my back. The devil is not on your back. There is a message that you need to get, and then you need to go over to the Aboriginal Medical Association, and that's gonna help you to get the rest of the devil up off of you. Because the devil may be eating at 11 o'clock at night. The devil could be that pork chop or that piece of chicken.
Right.
And who's putting that in your mouth, devil?
You are. Yes. Okay. So on that note, thank you so much, sis.
Indeed.
And thank you for this amazing conversation. You guys tune in because she will be there for our first live. So all the person
shy, I will. I'll just be quiet.
Call on you first. We comment on you first.
I love it.
Yes. Thank you for joining us. Thank you everybody for tapping in with us. And I look forward to you all seeing us. What is our live? It's the second to last Tuesday in June. Whichever date that is. That's either the 22nd or the 23rd. But I'll be tapping in with you guys.
23rd, yep, because I'm speaking on King Simon's show on the 24th. So yeah.
See that anal nature is needed. It's needed because I would have never. That's not a. I feel like I'm anal, so I'm more of a computer though.
But you just said an anal nature, like that's consistently like anal is what we do.
That's a polarity. That's a six polarity thing. That's not, yeah. No, I'm not trying to be shady. I'm just asking.
The shade is already there. We're shaded. Like, woo! And there's the shade. The shade has arrived. The shade is here.
And anal nature, which to me is not a bad thing personally, but those are synonymous, right? Or no?
They are.
Oh, okay. So you
said it out loud. That's the problem.
Oh, okay. So I'm an 8 of hearts, and I said all the things that everyone not supposed to say out loud. That's me, absolutely. That's me. And innocently at that, because I'd be like, wait, did I not hear? Okay.
You told the truth. That's all that happened. Yeah.
I love it. That's what I'm gonna say.
The hit dog has hollered. The hit dog has hollered.
See the vibes. Okay, we all gonna be together June 23rd. It's going to be either 6 of us. I think it's 6 of us.
Okay.
I our seventh guest will be here later on in our lives. But thank you guys for tapping in with us, and have a good night.
Indeed, indeed. Yay.